progress of our country than the older people, because you have a longer time and you will spend more time than the older people. So don't allow those of us who have had our time to spoil the country for you. Vijana hoi. The country must be peaceful. The country must be stable. The country must continually reduce the number of jobless young people and people without opportunity. We must continually tackle unemployment and lack of opportunity. The country must be peaceful, as I've said. It must be good for business. And the country must expand. The economy must continue expanding for you and your children so that you will find opportunities in life the way we also found opportunities when we were young people. So it is a very important thing you have to do. And most of all, the country must be free from violence, from corruption, and from the things that make our country slide backwards. Namsikubali. Be good stewards. Ask the hard questions, especially to those in authority. All of us who are in leadership, ask us the hard questions. Demand for us better services. When you think we are not handling public affairs right, ask the questions. But I plead with you, as we make our country better, because there is no perfect society anywhere in the world. All countries have their own challenges. Some countries are dealing with unemployment, others are dealing with ethnicity, others are dealing with racism. So there is no perfect society in the world. So as you ask questions that are meant to help our country have a better governance system, a more accountable system, a corrupt-free society, a responsible leadership, ask those questions. But in the process, don't allow people to manipulate the national challenges to incite young people to destroy their own country. Because if you destroy the country, then it will defeat the purpose for which you are asking for better governance, because there will be no country to govern in the first place. I say that because recently I saw a bit of disquiet, and I said the issues that the youth of Kenya are raising about employment and equity and the need for us to fight ethnicity, the need for us to fight corruption, those are good questions. But they cannot be an excuse to destroy businesses, to burn people's shops, and those people have nothing to do with the issues we are fighting. People trying to make a living somewhere in town. Somebody has gotten a bank loan, has set up a shop, is using that shop to educate their children. Then because of issues about leaders, not even about the people, they get their shop burnt down. That is not right, because we are destroying our own investment, our own wealth. Let us express our views. Let us challenge the things that are bad in our society, but let's keep the country safe. Let's keep the country with a good business environment so that you as young people, you can inherit a better country and take it forward in the years to come. I also wanted to take this chance just to highlight a number of things that the government is doing to support the dreams of young people. Because many people are talking out there, and sometimes some of the things that people are talking are not true. Let me start by saying that, as I said, youth, there are youth in business, there are youth in colleges and universities, there are youth who are in the creative industry, and all young people, they have a common dream. And the common dream is that their education, their talent, their businesses will give them income so that they can raise up families and also get empowered as citizens. That is the dream. Whoever is doing a business, hiyo biashara imsaidie. Whoever is in university, they want to get a job, serve the nation, but also get income. Those who are in the creative industry, they are using their talents to also earn an income. So, as an administration since 2022, we've been thinking deeply on how we can build on the past successes of Kenya to make Kenya better and more successful. And I want to assure you where we are today is not where we were in 2022 when President Ruto took over. We made some progress. It may not be as fast as we wanted, but definitely we've made some progress. What are we doing to empower young people and to create more opportunities for young people to realize their dreams? We noted in 2022 when we came into office that one of the biggest challenges we have is employment and income opportunities for young people. We realize every year about 1 million young people leave this education system at different levels: primary, secondary, tertiary, university. Total, about 1 million leave the education system. But we realize the economy is absorbing only a quarter of those who are leaving school. About 200,000, 250,000. And that is not good, because over time, if 100 young people leave the school system and only 250 are absorbed, 750 will be left hopeless without opportunity. The following year, the same. The following year, the same. Over many years, we have accumulated a large number of young people that could have an education, but they don't have an opportunity to use that education. Could have a talent, but that talent cannot give them income. So they are there, they have talent, they have education, but they have no opportunity to make money and get an income. And that's not good for the country. And we have come with deliberate programs to reduce the number of unemployed, jobless young people so that we can tackle unemployment and lack of income opportunity head on. Remember, as I have said, this problem of unemployment has not started in 2022 when President Ruto took over. It is an accumulation of many years. And many political leaders have always been saying, we have a problem with unemployment in Kenya. We have a problem. There are no opportunities for young people in Kenya. But they don't come with a solution. Okay? While we all appreciate we have a challenge of creating adequate opportunities for young people, very few people, if at all, have sat down to reflect what are the pathways that can help us reduce the number of young people that do not have income opportunities. We realized, for example, in 2022, for the comrades in the university, the tertiary colleges, we realized we have a big number of university graduates who have no jobs. Many of them in the teaching profession, but others in other disciplines. So we came with an expanded employment program for those university graduates who have studied education or health sciences or other disciplines, so that we can expand the number of graduates we are absorbing every year. Because of time, and I have quite a bit of speech to give, let me just exemplify using those comrades who have studied education. We realized that there were about 300 plus thousand unemployed teachers. They are qualified to teach primary school, secondary school, they are unemployed. That is almost half of the number of teachers we have. In other words, we have about slightly over 300 teachers employed and another 300,000 unemployed. And every year that number is increasing. I'm just giving teaching as an example. And we realized every year the government of Kenya has been employing between 4,000 and 5,000 teachers a year. But those who are graduating are much more from our colleges. So we are increasing the number of unemployed teachers, and the opportunities we are giving them are quite small. You graduate 20,000 or 15,000, you absorb only 4,000. Over the years, the number has accumulated. So what did we do? We decided to expand the recruitment of teachers. Instead of employing 5,000 teachers every year or 4,000 teachers, we have employed in 3 years up to now 76,000 teachers. In December, in 3 years, by December, we'll add another 24,000. If you add what the government of President Ruto has employed in terms of teachers, and these are youths who have left university, they have started teaching. By December this year, we will have clocked 100,000 teachers. Since independence, between 1963 and 2022, the number of teachers in primary and secondary school employed by government was slightly over 300,000 teachers. For 60 years, Kenya had deployed 300,000 teachers. In 3 years, Kenya has employed 100,000 teachers. So the number of teachers by December, when we hit the 100,000, the number of teachers employed by this government in 3 years is almost a third. It's almost 30% of all the teachers ever employed over 60 years of Kenya's independence. That way, over time, we are reducing the number of unemployed young people in the teaching profession. I've just given teachers as an example, but we're also doing that for other disciplines. We are doing that for other disciplines. That is an example of a program that is deliberately tackling youth unemployment and reducing the number of qualified young people with no income, without jobs. So we are expanding the public sector to accommodate more graduates, not just for universities, but also for tertiary colleges. Allow me also, we realized also one of the reasons why many graduates from colleges and universities remain unemployed is because the courses they have studied are not aligned, they are not wired to fit into the demands of the market. You have a skill which is not required in the market. So we started by relooking at the curriculum so that for those who are your juniors in primary and secondary school, we'll prepare them for the market. When they come out of college, come out of school, they are job ready. That's why we brought in CBC. When we were campaigning in 2022, every county we stepped into, the parents of Kenya used to tell us, abolish CBC. It is burdensome, it is confused, it is giving parents a lot of responsibilities. Did you hear that noise around CBC in 2022? Everywhere they were saying, abolish CBC. Today, you will not hear a single Kenyan saying abolish CBC. Why? Why? On the first day President Ruto was sworn into office, he brought a presidential working party on education reforms, where he gathered professors and people in education policy, and even comrades were represented in that presidential working party, students, to work on many reforms on the curriculum, but also in the funding model for our institutions of higher learning. That presidential working party is the one that helped us fine-tune the CBC curriculum. And that is why the noise has gone down. Because children today are more comfortable, the teachers are more comfortable, the parents are more comfortable. We stopped burdening students and pupils with a lot of cramming, with a lot of just forcing so many things on a child's head, that's not necessary. And we found out that for you older people, and for us, we were pushed too much for no reason. That's why the CBC at the tender years is very soft on the children. And the final exam is a very small component. They are assessed every day, every week, every month, every term. By the time they reach grade 6, when they do the first exam in quote, it's not really an exam, it's a test. Okay? They have already been assessed 60%. So that test will only count for about 40%. They go to junior school the same. So it's a softer way so that children can grow, not just cramming science and cramming history and cramming the other subject, but they have adequate time so that in these 10 children in one class, maybe only about 5 are interested to go all the way to university to study to be engineers and lawyers and teachers. Some of them, because they have a bit of freedom and a softer curriculum, they are gifted to be sports people, to be musicians, and because of that curriculum now, we have said by the time the children leave junior school to senior school, and we are going to senior school in January 2026, the first class of senior school will be in January 2026. By that time, we'll have reduced the subjects, and the children will only concentrate on the subjects that relate to what they want to do in life, not to study everything. So we have a pathway called STEM for the children who wants to major in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics-related disciplines. Those ones will go to senior school and concentrate on STEM. Senior school, others will go there to study social sciences because we still need social scientists. As much as we need engineers and doctors, we also need social scientists. We need psychologists, we need sociologists to help us live better with other members of society, and so forth. So some will study social sciences in senior school. Others will study STEM. Others will study the sports, arts, and creatives. Music, performing art, for the 3 years they are going to spend in senior school. So by the time someone goes to university, they are very clear what they want to do for those who want to go to university. So that curriculum shift is a legacy so far of President Ruto's government, fine-tuning the curriculum to make it more adaptable and flexible to allow young people to go into the future more prepared for the job market so that we reduce the number of unemployed, jobless, young people going into the future. And over time, the new curriculum will help us solve this issue because some of those who are talented in youth and sports, in sports and arts, will very early start concentrating on those talents, and I'll tell you shortly what else we are doing to support those kind of students so that we have a whole of society approach to education. So we are reforming the education system. We realize the teachers were not enough, we increased. We realize the classrooms are not enough, we have built 23,000 classrooms in primary and secondary schools. 15,000 of them have been built by the Ministry of Education, 8,000 of them have been built through CDF, which is a national government fund. So we have better facilities. We are now commencing equipping the schools that do not have laboratories, especially schools doing sciences, and they don't have labs. There are many schools in rural areas where pupils doing secondary exams, their first encounter with a microscope in a biology exam is on examination day. And that is very unfair to that pupil. The first time to see a Bunsen burner, or what is the other thing called? A pipette. There was something called a pipette. Those things, okay? They encounter them on KCSE day. While in other schools, they have been doing laboratory work in Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 4. So we are bringing equity in education. But the tertiary institutions for colleges, the middle-level colleges, we are working on the curriculum there. We have brought in the modularization of the curriculum in tertiary institutions. Modularization means if you are a young person doing business and you want to study for a skill in a TVET, you don't have to close your business and go and study. You can go to a TVET, register for one module for 3 weeks, study, get examined for that module, go back, continue with your business. When you get time, you come and do another module, and over time, you, in an almost part-time way, you continue with your business, but you also get your qualification when you have accumulated enough modules. Instead of saying, if you want to be a mason or a carpenter, you must close your shop and go and study in a polytechnic or a TTI until you finish. We have also brought in something called recognition of prior learning. Many young people are gifted by God in certain technical skills. So even before they go to college, you've seen very young boys, very young girls, they can make something, and they have not gone to school. Wengine wanashikanisha wires hapo, wire alafu anakuambia, you know, have you seen those things? Just using their head, they can tengeneza namna hii. So there are people who can even be carpenters, but they have never been in any polytechnic. Is that true? Naweza tengeneza meza, lakini hajaenda polytechnic. So we have brought something called recognition of prior learning. If you are already a mechanic, but you have no qualifications, we just take you to the nearest TVET for 2 weeks. We bring the assessors to assess the level of your knowledge, the level of your skills. In 2-3 weeks, if we are certain that you are as good as any other mechanic, we give you the certificate. And many young people today in what we call juakali, many of them have not been to any college, but they know how to work welding, dirisha, they can do something hapo. So we can recognize that knowledge. You just go to the college, we get assessors from government, they assess the quality of your knowledge and certify you. It's called recognition of prior knowledge. We have also brought in something called dual training policy and many other things which I don't have time to explain in the tertiary level. That's why you have seen in 2022 when President Ruto was sworn in, the number of TVET students across Kenya was much smaller compared to the university students. Yet, economists will tell you, you are supposed to have more students at tertiary level than those in the university. It's supposed to be a pyramid. Ours was inverted. You had almost 1 million students in universities and only 297,000 in TVETs. That's not good for the economy because you need more people with technical hands-on skills and fewer people with higher level supervisory knowledge to assist. But you need plumbers. The country is run by plumbers, electricians, masons. You know, they are the ones who do the practical things. But we had more university students, almost 1 million, than tertiary institution students, 297. Today, in 3 years, we have moved the enrollment of TVET students from 297,000 in September 2022 to 720,000 today. By December, we want that number to go to 1 million. By next year, end of 2026, we want the number of TVET students to go to 2 million. That is one way of empowering young people and making them job ready. The dual training policy, for example, makes you job ready because it combines theoretical study and practical study. You cannot graduate from a TVET unless you have been attached in a practical industry, a practical business, doing something related to your area of study. That way you become job ready by the time you graduate, and so forth and so on. So that's what we are doing at the university level. We are fine-tuning the funding model of the universities, because in 2022, many universities were going bankrupt based on the model we were using to fund higher education. Today, the vice chancellors will tell you the funding model we are using is better, and many universities that were in debt are slowly stabilizing financially. We have also said, as much as there are issues around the means testing tool, we will refine the means testing tool going forward to make sure that students who cannot afford fees are not locked out of college because of the university funding model we are using. And you've seen already, the funding to higher education loans board has increased. Last year, we gave help 35 billion. This year, it is 41 billion. Comrades, power. Power. Fire, see fire. Fire. So we are thinking about how do we make our education better, more relevant, of high quality, accessible, affordable, because that agenda is an agenda for young people. We, again, are very serious in terms of job creation. I've told you what we are doing to employ more people like teachers in the public sector. But there are certain interventions we are making in the private to make sure the private sector absorb more people, because government cannot employ everyone. And when you hear the president talking about macroeconomic stability, like lower interest rates, like a stable currency, like Kenya now has a very stable currency. When we came into office, the dollar was exchanging at 167 to the dollar. Today it's 128, 129 to the dollar. When we came into office in 2022, Kenya did not have any foreign exchange. The value of imports was too high compared to the value of our exports. Today, we have narrowed the gap between our exports and imports, and we have a very healthy, for those who are economists, there is something called a current account. We have a healthier current account because we are exporting more and importing less. One area where we were using a lot of foreign exchange to import, we were importing a lot of food. We were importing a lot of maize, a lot of wheat, a lot of rice, a lot of cooking oil. The government, in its agricultural transformation program, is reducing imports, encouraging our own production. For example, I can give the example of maize. 2022, we had produced 34 million bags. 2023, we produced 44 million bags, an additional of 10 million bags. In 2024, it rose again to 64 million bags. This year, we are expecting to harvest 75 million bags of maize. Already, we have reduced the number of maize imports by 70%. We are doing the same for rice. We are doing the same for cooking oil and edible oil. We are doing the same so that we save on foreign exchange, we reduce the imports, and we have a healthier current account, and we also have enough cash reserve ratio. Cash reserve ratio is enough foreign exchange. We now have almost, actually more than doubled the amount of current exchange we have, the number of dollars at the central bank from $5.7 billion in 2022 to currently $11.2 billion. So we are doing that so that we reduce the amount of money we spend in importing, so that the economy can be stable, so that private sector can access credit. You've seen the interest rates have started coming back from commercial banks, so that private sector can have more credit and employ more people. So there are many things we are doing to encourage private sector to absorb more young people in their businesses. But we are also saying that many young people are not looking for employment. Many young people are looking for income opportunity, either through business or through selling their talent. And that's why this curriculum is really a game changer. Because in this curriculum, we are saying those who want to be engineers and people to scientists and mathematicians, and you go to a STEM pathway, and then you become a scientist, you help us solve national problems. But those who want to study social sciences and humanities, you study humanities, you help us, we also help us to solve social problems. But those who also want to do sports and arts and creatives, specialize in them and make your money through creatives. This government, Kenya now is one of the 4 countries in Africa where Meta, the owners of Facebook, and the other social media platforms have agreed you can monetize your creative content and get paid based on your social media account. Fire, say fire. So we are making opportunities for young people. If you are in the creative space and you have a social media presence that can help you money, I have said in Kenya, in Africa, only 4 countries are in the category we are in, where Facebook, the owners of Facebook and other social media platforms, Meta, has agreed that you can monetize your social media account and get paid. And the president this month, actually at the end, the 3rd week, is going back to America to negotiate for greater monetization of social media content, and you're going to get a number of young people creating incomes and expanding the opportunities using the internet. What are we doing? We are also increasing the number of young people with skills, because we have many young people with skills, but they don't have opportunities to use those skills. Let me give one example, the affordable housing program. We are building 161,000 housing units across Kenya. The number of those units is increasing every day. We are also building 400 markets, fresh produce markets. In your own county of Embu, we are building 12 fresh produce markets. And they are in all the constituencies. We are also building hostels for comrades. We are building hostels in universities so that you can have affordable accommodation. You get a good accommodation, which you would have paid 6,000. Because of the standard, you would have paid 6,000. That same quality, which is charging 6,000 to a university or TVET student per month, the government will build it, you only pay 2,000. Same high quality, so less than half of what you're paying. But also, those who cannot afford and are staying in dangerous and healthy and dignified dwellings because of your income level, instead of staying in a mud walled house or some place which is raining, is leaking, and paying 2,000 a month, you will now upgrade yourself. That 2,000 you are paying, you'll come and pay it in a place with the internet, with water, with a cooker, with the gas and everything. So it is one way of bringing dignity to our young people in universities and colleges. It's even safer. Instead of staying very far in unsafe places, the hostels have security, they have all the amenities, and so forth and so on. But more than just providing hostels and markets for those in business and affordable housing for those who want to acquire homes, we are also creating jobs using the affordable housing, markets, and hostels program. Already, the young people who are employed in the affordable housing, markets, and hostels program are 320,000. Sometimes the figure goes to 350, depending on how many active sites we have, but it is somewhere between 320,000 to 350,000 people who would not have had somewhere to get money from if the housing program was not there. And the housing program is not going to stop because the demand for shelter, for quality houses is too big. It's only that people could not afford because the mortgages were too expensive. So today, families can have a single bedroom at 2 million, 1 million, 1.5, that way. And you pay what you should have paid as rent. If the rent was 4,000, you pay it in a good accommodation, and over the years, you acquire the house. So we are trying to do that, to create dignified homes, but we are creating jobs today. Between 320,000 and 350,000 young people are earning, and that program is not going to end anytime soon. It will be there 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. And for those who think this program is not important, read the history of South Korea, Singapore, and Malaysia. One of the programs that transformed the standards of living was the housing program, where, for example, Singapore, 99% of the citizens are homeowners. That is why Singapore is always #1 in the Human Development Index, because 99% of everyone has some form of a good home. And you know, a home is an asset. So when you have more Kenyans owning an asset, which is 2 million, 3 million, when you calculate the wealth of the nation, you will see where Kenya will be placed 10 years, 15 years, 5 years from today. So 350,000 young people, plumbers, masons, electricians, engineers, architects, quantity surveyors, and even for the people who have not been lucky to go to school, they are working in those sites as watu wa mkono. And nobody should degrade you because you are a mtu ya mkono. Because as we said, kazi ni kazi. As the Kenya Kwanza, UDA people, we believe work is work. And there is dignity in work. So long as you are getting an income out of it. If you can get a better job, it's okay. But in the meantime, the work you're doing is important and should be protected and assisted to grow. We want to push the number of people working in affordable housing, markets, and hostels from 350 to about 600,000 by the end of the year. We want to push it in the next 1 year to employ 1 million young people under affordable housing, markets, and hostels program. That is how you transform Kenya. That's how you respond to joblessness. You don't just say there is a problem. And when you are asked what we do to reduce the number of people who have no jobs, you have no answer. And that is the difference between us and the people competing with us. Some of them, if you put them on this platform, they will not last for 3 minutes. Because they will just say, oh yes, Ruto must go, I don't know what. And then after that, let's assume it is okay, he must go. Okay, then how do we solve the problem of young people in Kenya? They have no answer. So, if we can push in the next 1 year the number of skilled and semi-skilled young people working in affordable housing, markets, and hostels to 1 million, then we have another program called Kazi Mtandaoni, where we are building ICT hubs for use by young people in public spaces. We already have started with TVETs and universities. We have Jitume labs in many of the TVETs. And if any TVET in Embu doesn't have a Jitume lab, let me know. We will put one immediately and put 100 computers with internet. Because I have gone to TVETs and universities with the Jitume lab. Just 100 computers. Students who are already studying, but they spend 2 hours there in that Jitume lab. Some they are doing foreign exchange trading, some are doing script writing, others are doing website design, others are doing app development, others are doing transcriber, and there are so many jobs in the internet, so long as you have stable internet and a computer, which many young people lack. So we are doing Jitume labs. We are doing ICT hubs. The Jitume labs are in institutions. And if there is any institution in Embu County without the Jitume lab, let me know. You will get one immediately. If you have one without enough computers, let me know. I will go and add computers. Yani Deputy President atashindwa na kupatiana kompyuta kwa TVET kweli? Allah. So those Jitume labs, we are also saying the young people who are not in universities and colleges, but they are digitally savvy, but they don't have money to buy a computer and connect it to internet so that they can get into digital jobs. Every market, the 400 markets we are building, including the 12 in Embu County, we are going to put on the top floor of each market a computer lab, an ICT hub with computers connected to the internet, free of charge for young people, so that the young people in Embu Town, in Runyenjes, in Chicago, in Ishara, in Kiritiri, instead of wasting your time in the market because you have no facility, you can't do anything, you have some skills, but you don't have money to buy a computer, you don't have money to put internet. And instead of waiting for a politician to pay you 100 shillings so that you can go and heckle their political opponent, you use the ICT hub to go into the internet, not to insult the MCA, not to insult the governor or the president, but you go there to earn a living and look for digital jobs and take care of yourself and your family. Because if you are unhappy with a leader, you don't like your MCA, you don't like your MP, you don't like your president, the solution is not insulting them. The solution is to wait for the election and vote them out, isn't it? But before the election, make use of the time you have to build yourself. Don't waste your time in negativity. Because even if you insult them and you don't vote them out, they will be voted in. Isn't it? Yeah. And why waste time with all negativity? Just do your thing. Just ukiangalia useme huyu anakaa kama hana habari. They cannot lead anything, and you wait during election. Unamwambia out ninja. Ama namna gani jameni? Fire si fire. Kwa hivyo, we are creating, for already the Jitume labs, we are about 272 in TVETs and universities. The markets will give us another 400 spots. And these ones are for the youth who are not in institutions. They are in the marketplaces. Pale sokoni, Kiretire, badala ya vijana kukaa hapo idle, wakingojea kuchomwa, jeshi ichomwe, wanaenda kwa internet pale, wanafanya forex trading, wanafanya website design, wanalipwa hela, and they have no time for negativity. Fire si fire. Fire si fire. Noma si noma. Tuendelee na hiyo maneno ama tuachane nayo? Do we continue thinking how we resolve unemployment and job opportunities, or do you want to waste our time talking about who will lose the election and who will win the election as if the election is today? Let's look for those who are leaders. Let's look for solutions for unemployment. Siku ya kampeni ikifika, kila mtu, hakuna mtu anatoka mbinguni, kila mtu amekuwa kiongozi. Aulizwe siku ile ulikuwa na kiti, ulifanya nini? Mimi nitakuja nijitetee, ule mwingine ajitetee, wananchi waamue, tuendelee. Mwenye anachaguliwa anakuwa kiongozi wetu. Mwenye anakosa anangoja siku ingine. Ni fire si fire. Ni fire si fire. That is maturity. That's how countries mature. Our job now is not to say who will be elected and who will not lose the election. Our job now is to ask, what can we do when we are in office? What can we do for our young people? So that when the time comes for accountability, we have something to say. So we have about 185,000 young people who are making a living out of digital jobs, but that number is very small. And it is because many do not have access to computers and internet. We even have a new phenomena, those who are ICT savvy. There is a new phenomena called business process outsourcing. Those in the creatives and in the ICT sector, they'll tell you. Where companies in America, in Europe, instead of traveling to work there, they employ you at the call center, for example. You are in Kenya, but their calls of that company are diverted to an office in Kenya, customer relations jobs and other jobs, but you are based here, but working for a company abroad without leaving Kenya. For those who want, because you're educated people, there is one very successful privately run business process outsourcing, BPO, in Tatu City, which is employing 5,000 young people daily in 2 shifts, 5,000 during the day, 5,000 at night, to work for overseas companies, but they are based at Tatu City. And they are being paid for working for overseas countries without leaving Kenya. So, it is my submission, dear young people, it is possible, very possible, to expand the number of young people getting an income through the digital space, through the internet, through ICT. That number can easily rise from the current 185,000 to 1 million young people. It is possible. It is very possible. So if you have 1 million young people in Kazi Mtandaoni, ICT jobs program, then you have another 1 million young people in the affordable housing and markets and hostels program. Then you have another program called Kazi Maju. And we are saying, if you're a young person, of course the priority, we are creating jobs for you here to do, if you get it here. But for heaven's sake, as a young person, you are more flexible than older people. If you get a job abroad before the one you're waiting for here arrives, go and do that one as you wait for the one here. Because kazi ni kazi. Ama namna gani? Yeah, there are people in America today, in Europe, in Dubai, in whatever. So what has this government done to increase the number of young people getting access to international jobs? We have signed something called bilateral labor agreements, which were not there. And we have started implementing them. That's why you have heard the noise which was there about mistreatment of Kenyan workers abroad. It is lessening by the day. Because today, we have 6 bilateral labor agreements with some of the countries overseas, in Europe and Middle East. And we are negotiating another 13 countries, bilateral labor agreements with 13 other countries, to bring the total to 19, almost 20 countries. In those agreements, before a young person leaves the soil of Kenya, the government of Kenya must know who is their employer, how much money are they going to earn, how will it be paid. If the person, our young person, gets into trouble there, what is the arrangement to bring them home as government? So by the time you live here, we have an end-to-end view so that you don't go there and enter into the hands of slave traders and other people who misuse you. I am happy to report, so far, under the Kazi Maju program of job creation, we have lifted 430,000 young people from Kenya to go and earn living abroad. And you know, they are not relocating forever. We are not chasing them. Just go there, work for 5 years, save some money, invest at home, come back. In fact, I encourage young people, don't go there to stay permanently. So before you go, if you are a young man, you must get a girlfriend here before going. Or a wife. If you are a girl, get a boyfriend before you go, or a husband. Then you go, so that you sikae sana after. And then also invest home. Diaspora remittances have increased in the last 1 year from $4 billion to $4.95 billion. So there is profit in working abroad, those who can go and work and invest at home. Again, 430,000, that number is not ambitious enough. We can easily push the number of young people working abroad in good jobs, well paid, well protected legally through bilateral labor agreements. We can get that number to 1 million young people, Kazi Maju. So if we can continue with the momentum, 1 million job for affordable housing markets and hostels program, young people in the skills sector. We get another 1 million Kazi Mtandaoni program. We get another 1 million Kazi Maju program. And then for the young people who may not have education, a good education because of challenges, they left school early. We have said that program, which used to be called Kazi kwa Vijana, Kazi Mtaani, tumeirudisha. Sasa tunaita Kazi Mtaani Climate Works. In every county, in every sub-county. Instead of staying idle, you go and work with your hands. At the end of the day, you get your 500 shillings. In a week, it is 3,500, 4,000. In a month, it's 16,000. It is money. It is better than staying. It's better than staying doing nothing. Yeah, people say, oh, kazi, vijana, sijui kazi. Kazi ni kazi, and there is dignity in work. If you get your 15,000, 16,000 every month by working with your hands, what is the difference between that money and someone who is employed as a clerk in an office earning 15,000? Is there a difference? Si pesa ni pesa. Kwani yako imeandikwa mtaani? Si ni pesa jameni? What is doing as a clerk, you also do it with the work of your hands. Ama namna gani jameni? So we are going to start with 200,000 young people. I hope we can increase it to almost 500,000 for the semi-skilled and unskilled jobs through Kazi Mtaani Climate Works. Good people, dear Kenyans. That is how you connect the dots of the conundrum and the challenge that is youth unemployment and lack of opportunities. There are young people who are already in business. I said here we have youth in business here. It doesn't matter the type of your business. Transport sector, retail sector, it really doesn't matter. Biashara ni biashara. We are introducing now a program called Nyota for you. Young people between 18 and 35 years, men and women, youth who have a business. There is a program called Nyota, which is going to start on 18th of September, in 3 weeks. It is going to be launched by the president in the whole country. And that program will identify 70 micro businesses in every ward in Kenya. 70 businesses run by youth. That's why it is called Nyota, National Youth Opportunities Towards Advancement. So we look at every ward and look at youth-led businesses or youth-run businesses, 70 of them per ward. They will be trained on bookkeeping, record keeping, and how to manage a business, and they will be given a grant, not a loan, of 50,000 shillings to expand their business. And for the people who are rich and wealthy and who have big businesses, they will never understood the power of 50,000 to a micro business of someone who is running a mkokoteni or running a grocery shop or a hairdressing shop in the village. So this 50,000 is going to assist very many micro businesses. And it's a grant, it's not a loan. The president has also directed that under the Kazi Maju program, if you are a young person, you've gotten a job abroad and you have a contract, but you don't have money for getting a passport, you don't have money for medical exam, you don't have money for air ticket, the youth fund will give you a soft loan called relocation loan, so that you pay the ticket, you pay the medical exam, you pay for the passport, uende utarudisha pole pole once you have arrived in the country of destination and you are earning your money. Fire, see fire. Fire, see fire. So, good people, I can talk for a day. I can talk the whole day. But it is not right. And I am not saying that the government should not be criticized. We are in a democracy, the government should be criticized. Because we are not perfect, and no government is perfect. Where we have excesses, we need to be told. Where we need to rectify, we need to rectify. But it is also not true to say that this government is doing nothing. I can talk about agriculture, I can talk about roads, I can talk about electricity, I can talk about health, many things. But today I just wanted to speak about the interventions of this government to create jobs and income opportunities for young people. From Kazi Mtaani Climate Works, to Kazi Mtandaoni, to Kazi Maju, to Nyota for businesses, to reforming the education sector, to increasing the funding for universities and the amount that is going to help and supporting comrades in universities, to increasing the number of teachers we are employing. There is something we've done. And we have another 2 years to do even more. So I am not worried. When the time comes for us to account, we will not lack what to tell the people of Kenya. In every county, we will have something to say. Let me give you an example. What we've done, we have asked the National Employment Authority, NEA, to tabulate the 430,000 young people who have benefited from Kazi Maju until now, county by county, constituency by constituency, ward by ward. So that when we come to campaign in Embu, and we are in a place called Chicago, we will tell the people of Chicago, in Mbeere North, that out of the 430 Kenyans who have benefited from Kazi Maju from this administration, a number X, let's say 20,000 are from Embu County, but out of the 20,000 from Embu County, 4,500 are from here in Chicago, and these are their names. So and so from this village. So and so, na tunaweka hapo ofisi ya chief. So that people who are saying uongo will be confronted with truth. Yeah, time has changed. Fire si fire, noma si noma. Unajua watu wanashindana na sisi, wako chini sana. They are very low. They are too low. Sisi tumejipanga vizuri because we know Kenya has moved on. We have an informed population. The claims we are making must be based by evidence. And we are ready. So if, for example, I've just given hypothetically, if we have helped 5,000 or 2,000 young people from one constituency to get jobs abroad, and their names are there, people know the son of so-and-so, the daughter of so-and-so. So who will come there to say uongo? Si atajaribu kuongea alafu ashikwe na kigugumizi. Yeah, they will start stammering. So please, we will account for ourselves. You should not get worried. Leave no doubt in your mind that this government will account for itself. As I conclude, young people are the hope of the nation. From those in the creatives, which we want you to monetize your talents through social media, to those with the semi-skilled and unskilled labor, to those with elite qualifications in universities, to those with the technical skills in TVETs, to those in business. We have 4 or 5 interventions that over time are going to reduce the problem we have been having, because by 2022, when we came into office, we had about 6.5 to 7 million young people without jobs or income opportunities. And we are reducing the number. Of course, every year more are joining, but we are reducing the number, or we are increasing the number of people we are absorbing, so that you have fewer people, fewer young people left without jobs and income opportunities. Let me ask you, if by 2027, if we will have created 1 million jobs under affordable housing markets and hostels, 1 million jobs under Kazi Mtandaoni, 1 million jobs under Kazi Maju, 1 million jobs and another assortment of jobs, including the Kazi Mtaani climate work. So you have like lifted 4, 5, 6 million young people from joblessness and hopelessness. And you can now request for more time to do more. Okay? So continue asking the questions. Continue asking the questions. So I want to stop there and tell you that I'm very happy to meet you. I just needed to share this with you, encourage you, and plead with you not to get into negativity. Democracy is a very simple thing. There is a season for politics. People make their case. They state their agenda. We elect some. We don't elect others. And even those who are not elected, it's not that they are misfits. It's only that they didn't have enough votes. And maybe they didn't get now, they will get some other time. So we should not make the country hostile just because of political competition. And nobody on the other hand should threaten the other, oh, you will not win an election, I don't know, you will do. Because election is not life and death. The country's future is life and death. Creating opportunities and jobs is life and death. That we must do. And so the people competing with us must come with their agenda for creating jobs. We will table ours, then they table their agenda. Then you look, examine, alafu uone wale wako wanakaa kama wako na network, wale wengine waambiwa wangoje ama namna gani? Fire si fire. Noma si noma. Embu hoye. Embu hoye. Kwa hivyo nawashukuru sana. I think I'll be meeting you in your own groups later. I just wanted representatives from each sector. As young people, we have a general meeting, but I'll be meeting specifically. Kama nyinyi university students and tertiary students, mimi nataka kikao na nyinyi. Yes. And you know the good thing with comrades, and you know I'm a former university professor. So my youth, I spent my early years engaging young people and empowering young people, training young people. And I'm very proud to see very many lawyers that I have trained doing very well. The good thing with you people is that you, first of all, you listen. And when a point has been made, when you are persuaded, you accept. So mimi nitakuja hapo tungangane kwa sababu kuna watu wanataka kuambia university students this government doesn't care about you. It is not true. So nitakuja hapo tufanye kikao hata kama ni 3-4 hours. And you can see I can talk for 7 hours. Alafu na nyinyi muongee namna hii. Ama namna gani? Wacha tusimame tuimbe wimbo moja alafu a few people will come here and say something. Wapi DJ? Nyinyi ni 2 term mama mko wapi? Ni 2 term? Ni 2 term? Fire si fire. Noma si noma. DJ weka ngoma moja nzuri tu. DJ
Mumesikia maneno ama bado hajafika huko?
Nataka unipatie niguke na hiyo ingine, achana tutoe mkono. Haya, kila mtu mko tayari? Mko tayari? Nipe mikofi ya juu. Nipe makofi tuone. Eti. Tuone hivi.
Kena nego kena.
Eti.
Nakogosa idalere ambore maende matana ndoga. Nego kena.
Bariki nipi. Bariki. 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 Nipe mkono juu basi bariki. Bariki.
Kero ko kehorero thimo.
Eti.
Kero mami binto de boroaro.
Embu.
Kero derede kana mosie narwa.
Eti.
Para pesa na yenyambe toke. Nekaba kayo kera moto.
Eti.
Manyo kero ya mami binto.
Inua mkono hivi. Inua mkono hivi nipe tuta. Nipe tuta. Nipe tuta. Nipe tuta. Hebu nipe makofi ya juu. Makofi ya juu. Makofi. 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 Nipe ngumi mbwese basi, ngumi mbwese DJ. DJ Kulo.
Mbwekse.
Nipeni mbwese basi.
Fire si fire. Now, bas, we can get seated. Wacha tupatia a few young people dakika moja waseme kitu. Alafu tawaambia vile tutaendelea. Niliwaambia msiwe na haraka. Leo ni leo, msema kesho. Leo ni leo, msema kesho. Fire si fire. Noma si noma. 2 term si 2 term. Mbwekse si mbwekse. Nyinyi mkorada kabisa. On behalf of the creatives, can we have Geoffrey Mwangi aseme dakika moja? Fire si fire. Noma si noma. Geoffrey ni fire si fire. Sema kitu Geoffrey.
Mheshimiwa naibu wa rais wa Jamhuri tukufu la Kenya, viongozi walioko mahala hapa na wananchi wanarika wa Embu. Hamjambo? Hamjambo tena? Nimesimama hapa on behalf of all creatives, musicians, content creator, wale wanafanya fine arts. Mheshimiwa naibu wa rais, maybe you are wondering, mimi naitwa Babu wa Dallas. I am a content creator. Maybe you are wondering kwa mkutano ya wanarika Babu anafanya nini? I am a young man. Babu is just a character that I play. Fire si fire.
Fire.
Mbwekse si mbwekse.
Mbwekse.
Babu is a character of an old Swahili man who was born, brought up and lives in the village of Embu, Dallas. So kwanza Mheshimiwa naibu wa rais, nataka kukushukuru kwa mwaliko wako. Sio jambo la kawaida ambapo viongozi ama serikali wanatambua wanarika na wanawaita kuwaeleza. Fire si fire. Mbwekse si mbwekse.
Mbwekse.
Unajua Mheshimiwa naibu wa rais, if you don't tell people what you've done or what you are planning to do, sana sana watu wanafikirianga hamuwafikiri, si ndio? Lakini sasa tumekusikiza na tuko na uhakika kwamba mnatufikiria. La pili, nataka kushukuru the national government kwa sababu kwa vile wamekupea support uweze kukutana na vijana wa Kenya, kwa sababu without the support of the national government hawezi fanya hii mambo.
Correct.
So utaenda uambie mdosi tumesema ni asanti na msikomee hapo, bado ijatosha, muendelee kutufikiria, si ndio? Waendelee kutufikiria. So nikimalizia, Mheshimiwa Naibu wa Rais, Dallas iko pale kwa mlango ya Embu ukitoka Nairobi. Kwa hivyo kila siku ukipitia hapo, unaingia kijiji ya Dallas, unasema uonyeshe kwa babu wa Dallas na kupatia kikombe cha maziwa.
Thank you.
Unakunywa maziwa ya ng'ombe na wewe unaniachia hii maziwa ingine ya makaratasi. Asante sana.
Fire si fire.
Fire si fire.
Fire si fire. So, most of you are in different sectors, the students, creatives, business people. Pia, ningetaka mniambie, after I meet with you and we have our discussions, mungetaka niwatengenezee mkutano muende kwa rais? Mungetaka muende kwa boss? Muende mkae na rais? Muongee maneno? Mupangane? Wangapi wananituma kwa rais William Ruto hapa? Bas, so I'll work with your leaders to organize ndio muwe na siku ya Waembu. Hii wanarika, muende mukae na rais. Ndio pia mumueleze pia what you want government to do maybe more faster, so that you also generate ideas on how we can run our country. Be given ideas because nobody has the monopoly of ideas. Kwa hivyo nitawa hiyo appointment, lakini nitamwambia pia mmeniambia ati nyinyi mko 2 term. Ni kweli? Nimwambie hivyo? Niseme hivyo? Watu ya 2 term? Ni 2 term? Wacha nione 2 term ya Embu wanarika jameni. Mambo ni mbwekse. Mbwekse si mbwekse. Mbwekse si mbwekse. Nyinyi ni fire. Fire. Wacha sasa tusikize kwa niaba ya comrades wa university. Iko Kezia Ngare, president. Muko mpaka na rais. Wapi Kezia Ngare, nuru ya Kezia? Fire, 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 fire. Ni fire si fire. Noma si noma. Comrades power.
Thank you so much. Comrades power. Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Great Republic of Kenya, Professor Kithure Kindiki, and the Embu community, good evening. Good evening. This evening, Your Excellency, my name is Kezia Ngare, the President of the Comrades wa University, Embu County. And we are very much happy and humbled to have for you to have us today here, for us to have a rapport with you. It has been a moment of waiting, and we thank God because He has made it happen today. And therefore, I am going to represent the concerns of the students of the university, because I am their representative. And number one, we are grateful because you are the county and the county government and yourself and the national government, you are viewing us, the young people, or rather the students, as the hope of the country. But we have one concern, that for us to be viable, for us to establish, for us to truly be meaningful hope for this country, we need the government. And in what we need the government to do is that from the meeting that we had today, we are going to have a tabled dialogue where we are going to have conversations, whereby you, the deputy president, the county government, and the students of the university, we are going to have a hearty conversations for the concerns of the young people. We do not want you that day to come to talk to us for 7 hours. In those 7 hours, there will be hours of dialogue with you, where we will be co-creating solutions with you. Your Excellency, in my last minute, I will want to say that day we will not come for solutions from you. We will come with possible solutions. We will come to co-create solutions with you. As I finalize, Your Excellency, young people are happy because the government has enabled them to facilitate their school fees through HELP and HEF. But we still have concerns on that matter. These upkeep fees that we are receiving from HELP, it is not enough for our upkeep. We still need something else to be done in regards to that. Your Excellency, the young people in the university, they have their time for classwork. And when they are not in classrooms, they are in their houses and in the libraries and where there is Wi-Fi hotspot, trying to come up with startups. But the fact they are going with these startups is on platforms where they only get motivated with clubs. We want the government, or we request the government, to come up with a way where they will be able to take up these startups to fund them so that the young people help in job creation. And the other thing is that the young people in the university, because this upkeep is not enough, wanajipata wanauza smokies. But even getting this trolley ya smoky, it is one main struggle, Your Excellency. Kwa hivyo, haya ni mambo, baadhi ya yale ambayo vijana wa Embu County wako nayo, na tunaomba tusemezane. Nikimalizia, Your Excellency, tukiweza kusuluhisha hilo jambo la job opportunities na internships, tutakuwa tumesaidia vijana, wanafunzi, tutakuwa tumesaidia familia zetu. The final thing about policy advocacy, the young people have not been there when policies were made previously. This time round, because we are the young people, we are the students, we are the scholars, we are full of ideas, we want to make policies to be part of those tables where policies are made, and to be participants, and to ensure that these policies are enforced and they are established, because we mean well for the country, we mean well for the people of Kenya. Finally, there is one policy that the government did. There is one system called COOPS. Nyinyi wote mnajua COOPS. Wale students wako hapa, we are products of COOPS, where we were placed to those universities and TVETs and colleges. But we need something else to be done concerning internships. Can we come up with another system, a government agency approved by the government, ile itashughulikia placement ya students wale wanahitaji internships na attachment? Those are just some of co-creation solutions that we can have when we have a table with you. We are grateful and glad.
Fire, see fire. Fire, see fire. Kezia is right. We need a conversation. And that conversation, if I speak for 1 hour, the students will speak for 2 hours. If I speak for 7 hours, the students will speak for 14 hours. So you have more time, because we need really to listen and learn and cross-fertilize our ideas. All those suggestions are good suggestions. We need to increase the upkeep capitation. We also need to look at other interventions, including internships and placement. And I agree with you totally. These young people have a lot of ideas, and we need to create a platform for them so that those ideas are tapped into policy making. I've already told you, when the Presidential Working Party on Education Reforms was going around taking views, the membership included representatives of students, university and higher education students. I think there were 3-4 university leaders as members of that Presidential Working Party. And going forward, we want every other policy on health, on housing, on the other issue, to have young people represented, because you also have ideas, and the time to share those ideas is now. It is today, it is not tomorrow. Fire, see fire. Fire. On behalf of the comrades in tertiary institutions, 2 minutes for Eric Kim. Wapi Eric, ni fire, see fire. Noma, see noma. Imbwekse, si mbwekse.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. My name is Eric. I am an engineer, so I'll take the shortest time possible. So, Your Excellency, I want to bring to your attention of student organizations within county levels, whereby students from a certain county who could be schooling in that county form an organization. They could be in that county or outside of that county, and they do so many things, including policy advocacy, including awareness of the government programs. For example, in Embu County, last week, we held a press briefing where we brought student leaders from the University of Embu and all over 16 tertiary institutions in Embu. And we made a resolve to support the government of the day. Not to stop criticizing the government, but you want to create a platform where the young people, where the youths, youth leaders and student leaders can come together and co-design and co-create solutions to their problems together with the government. Because it is not enough to go to the streets, it is not enough to always shout words against the government. We want to sit in that table in the breath of what Kezia said, so that we could design those solutions. And allow me to say the words of Kofi Annan, who said that the youth are not too young to lead, and also they are not too old to learn. So we as the student leaders to come to those tables, to those round tables where policies are made, offer our insights, and have a progressive country, not a chaotic country. Beautiful. We do not have a perfect country in the world. Citizens work together with the government for perfection. I submit. Thank you.
Beautiful. Fire, see fire. Fire, see fire. Thank you very much, Kevin. I agree with you. There is no perfect country in the world. Even the one you think is a good country, you land there, they have issues. If it is not ethnicity, it is racism. If it's not racism, it is corruption. If it is not corruption, it's another thing. So we must work towards creating a more perfect country, a better country. And it's a generation to generation thing. Each generation tries to better what they find. And I agree with you entirely. Kevin has also told us that is it Kevin or Eric? Eric has told us that the students are not saying government should not be criticized. They are saying correct government, bring ideas, and there is no need of disrupting the economy, especially if you're being listened to. And unless you are not being listened to, then you can have an excuse. We are offering ourselves to listen to you, and not just to listen to you, to get your input and act on the good ideas that we pick from the young people. And I mean it. When I say this, it's not just cosmetic. I've been a university professor for more than 12 years, and I really enjoyed my time there, because you see, young people have extraordinary talent. They have extraordinary energy. They have time ahead. They have a fresh mind. They are still energetic. There's a lot of advantages. And so it's foolish to ignore input from young people or to try to underrate it. And we are going to offer you a platform, not just for you to talk, but for you to influence national policies and national programs. Comrades, power. Vijana hoi. On behalf of the boda sector, transport sector, let's call it transport sector. Iko boda, iko tuk-tuk, iko matatu, yoyote ni transport sector. Let us hear from Kevin Kamau, 2 minutes. Fire, see fire! Asante sana.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. Fire, see fire! Fire! Noma, see noma! Thank you, Your Excellency. On behalf of wanabodaboda kutoka Embu, nashukuru sana. Na Your Excellency, kama tuko live najua wanabodaboda mahali ya wako, hawaamini nimekanyanga red carpet. So, Your Excellency, we are much humbled and much grateful. Your Excellency yangu ni shukuran. Wakati ulikunja pale Embu, tulikuwa na bodaboda summit, na we thank you, Your Excellency, kupitia the national government, ulitusaidia sana. And it was the first summit kufanywa in the whole country. Wapi makofi ya Your Excellency, tunashukuru na tunasema ni asanti sana kwa hayo. Sisi kama wanabodaboda pale Embu, tumesema tuko nyuma ya serikali na hatuachwi nyuma kamwe, na tutapigania hii serikali yetu kufa kupona. Sisi hatuogopi na hatuna wasiwasi wowote kupigania hii serikali yetu. Ni fire, si fire?
Fire.
Your Excellency, ya mwisho nilitumwa na vijana wakaniambia nikusalimie sana, na wakaniambia pale Manyatta wanakuhitaji sana, na uko karibu sana, Your Excellency.
Asante.
Ya mwisho, Your Excellency,
niende nisiende? Si wamesema niende Manyatta?
Akuja asikuje? Your Excellency, ya mwisho tutakuja tukiongea, vijana wanahitaji driving license, wakuja ukiwapanga na najua itawezekana. Ya mwisho, Your Excellency, kuna ile mambo mliongea kuhusu zile bodaboda ziko na pete offenses ziachiliwe. Vijana wengi hawajaachiliwa bodaboda zao, walinituma kwako, Your Excellency.
Wapi list? Ipatie vijana, patiana, hata kama sio sahi. Let me know zile bodaboda ambazo zimeshikiliwa.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Fire, see fire. Bas, on behalf of other youth who are doing other businesses, allow me to call Vincent Muremi. Fire, see fire. Noma, see noma. Nimbwekse, si mbwekse. Two terms, si two term. Tuendelee, tusiendelee.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. My name is Vincent Muremi from Mbeere North, representing youths in different aspects of the business. Niko tu na maneno matatu, or 3 points. Number 1, mimi natoka Mbeere North. So 2 term, atungoje 2027. 2025, leo ni leo! Huyo tunakupatia akiwa MP. Ya tuongee, si ndio?
Asante.
The second thing, I'm talking on behalf of businesses as a youth. Unajua sahi hatufanyi biashara kama the old times. We realize there are so many grants zenye zinapeanwa, especially by embassies like the US Embassy, the British Council. Now we don't access them, especially in Mt.Kenya East. You find we have very beautiful proposals from watu wenye wametoka kwa Kezia na Eric. Now our banks don't understand the ideas because they don't bring money immediately. We request kindly bring those foreign agencies and embassies to Embu. Let us get those grants and we are going to do beautiful businesses. The last point, pale Embu, Mbeere, kuna kitu tunaitanga Mbeere Cultural Festival. Tunakualika.
Lili?
Mbeere Cultural Festival is in December.
Very good.
Tunakualika.
Tarehe ngapi? Tarehe
20 December.
Mimi niko hapo, fire fire.
Thank you so much.
Asante. India nitafika mapema. Sasa huyo ni youth wale wako na SMEs. Ndio unasikia anauliza grants which come through foreign organizations or even friendly countries which have grants. Those are SMEs. So tunataka pia tusikie kutoka kwa representative wa vijana wale wako na hii biashara zingine, the micro businesses, not the small and medium businesses, micro businesses. Najua kazi ni kazi na hakuna aibu kwa kazi. Nobody should make you feel ashamed of what you do. Bora hapo ndio unatoa riziki. Yes. So, we have vendors, wale wanauzanga rejareja, hawkers and vendors. Tuko na shoe shiners, tuko na mitumba people, saloons, kinyozi, jua kali, hiyo grupu yote. Hii biashara tu mtu anaenda na setup ka hustle yake hapo, inaitwa micro businesses or even nano businesses, ile kidogo kabisa. So on behalf of those young people, let us listen to Paul Njoroge. Fire si fire, noma si noma, nimbwekse si mbwekse, two term si two term, tuendelee tusiendelee. Thank you very much. Asante. Sema kitu Paul Njoroge.
Your Excellency, Your Excellency, Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, my fellow Wakorinos, my fellow citizens, hamjambo. Hamjambo.
Hatujambo. Tam.
Ile bogi tumetoka nawe buta iko wapi? Comrades power. Kina kiani, mbona mnaniangusha hivyo?
Bogi yako imekuangusha. Tam.
Tauti nasemaje?
Tam.
KIB.
KBB.
Kumibira.
Break.
Yes, anaitwa Paul Njoroge. Anawakilisha wenye wanauza mitumba, wenye wanauza nguo mpya ama nguo mzee, na shoe shiners.
Sema wale wanauza nguo.
Wenye wanauza nguo.
Yeah.
In short.
Ni textile.
Na business zingine dogo.
Textiles and apparel.
So,
nguo unauza garments.
mimi ningekuomba tu Your Excellency, venye tu umetuambia.
Yes.
Sisi zote tunahitaji kazi. Na kazi umesema ni kazi. Despite ikuwe ni kubwa ama ikuwe ni dogo. Hiyo dogo uko nayo, hiyo kubwa itakuja kupitia hiyo dogo. Kwa hivyo hata hizo dogo tuko nazo, tungekuomba tu ujaribu tu kuendelea kutuinua. Sababu kama mimi na wauziaga mayai.
Yes.
Na wagogeanga.
Excellent. Sio ile.
Na wawogea nini?
Vijana hoi. Sio ile. Ni mambo ya mayai.
Mimi na wawogeaga nini?
Mayai.
Sawa. Si hiyo ingine mnafikiria.
Karibu upate matatizo wewe.
Mimi na wauziaga mayai, smocha, smoking sausages and all those. Si hiyo ingine, let's not think negativities. Sidio? Let's think about positivity.
Kabisa.
So hiyo dogo tuko nayo,
Yeah.
Tungekuomba tu mheshimiwa,
Yes.
ama kiongozi wetu ama deputy president, uwajaribu tu kutuinua kama vyenye Kezia amesema.
Kabisa.
Sababu kupata vitu kama trolleys ni shida.
Muko na association.
Please, tuko nayo.
Na that association mupange, wale watu mulipangana nao kupanga hiyo mkutano, muniletee proposal ni watafutie empowerment.
Two term.
I have to come and support you.
Jusote ni kazi hatuna, tunakuomba tu tupatie kazi.
Watafutie matrole na nini na pesa ya stock.
Ukifanya hivyo tutashukuru na tutasema asanti. Na sababu najua namba inaweza toka dakika yoyote. Na ikitoka saa hii sema ni two term.
Yes.
Ni two term, si ndio? Hakuna kurudi nyuma.
Amen.
Si ndio?
Amen.
Itoke isitoke.
Itoke.
Tukirudi round nyingine najua itakuwa akilia, si ndio?
Yes.
Barikiweni sana.
God bless you. So sasa huyo Njoroge, wacha nirekebishe, ule ni yule Njoroge Mkurino, ni mtu mzuri, ule wa kugongea nyinyi mayai. Na vile ameongea ni fire. Si ni fire? Si ni noma? So sasa mwisho bado nimebakisha wengine wawili watatu tufunge, na ni dakika moja. So ule mwakilishi wa bodaboda aliongea, lakini pia kwa transport sector kuna wale wako na matatu tuktuk. Hiyo ni wadosi kiasi. Unajua huyu ako na matatu, huyu mwingine ni bodaboda, yule mwingine tuktuk, matatu. Unajua biashara ni levels. Yeah, na there is no problem. Huyu ako na boda, kesho atakuwa na tuktuk, the other day atakuwa na gari, kwa na matatu. So kwa niaba ya watu ya matatu na tuktuk, representative wao anaitwa Anthony Mwangi, atusalamie aseme kitu. Fire si fire, noma si noma, two term si two term, mbwekse si mbwekse.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency, Professor Kithure Kindiki. Kitu ya kwanza nataka kukushukuru sababu you recognize our industry, the matatu and the transport industry. Your serikali yenu through the circles imekuwa ikitusupport, but tunapitia a lot of challenges. Si mnajua hata kwa barabara kuna watu wanasimamanga hivi, wanakuwa wanatu challenge. We would like to sit down, mkuja tukae chini juu it is only in the transport sector. Sijawahi sikia the matatu, the lorries, the tuk-tuks wakiwa wameitwa na serikali wakakaa chini, lakini the bodabodas and other people wanaitwa.
Ni kweli.
So the next meeting, Your Excellency, ningekuomba at least utengeneze mkutano ya the matatu industry and the other transport sectors.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yo kitu ingine ningependa kukushukuru, tumesikia kutakuwa na dual carriage from Makutano to Meru.
Makutano, Embu, Chuka, Meru.
Yo kitu the road fire si fire. Fire. Yo inakuja kutufungulia mabiashara, kufungua barabara, expand our industry, the matatu industry, the bodaboda industry and other industries. Good. Kusema hii serikali inatufikiria. So ningewaomba nyote tukae chini tujadiliane tu support hii serikali. Lastly, ningependa, unajua tunasemanga mtu apewe flowers zake wakati ako hai ama wakati anaonekana. There is a young guy called Martin. Mato.
Huyu Mato huyu.
Your Excellency.
Haya, maliza umpatie.
Your Excellency.
Aseme kitu, yes.
Huyu kijana ile gospel ya tutam ametuconvert.
Very good.
Ametutoa wa Manyora akatuleta wapi?
Tutam.
Anaenda from market to market. So we want to recognize you, my brother. Thank you very much, and tumeshukuru sana, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. Asante. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We Mato, kumbe wewe ndiye balozi wa tutam. Wewe ndiye balozi wa Mbwekse. Wewe ndiye mtu ya Mbwekse. Huyu Mato ni fire. Ni fire. Ni noma. Aendelee. Ni mchunge. Mchunge huyu Mato.
Nipangwe nisipangwe? Nipangwe nisipangwe? Ni tutam si tutam. Ni tutam si tutam. Ni fire si fire. Haya. Ni fire si fire.
Haya.
Mi naibu wa rais nimetembea kila kona ya Embu County na upiri tutam. Na mimi naomba tu nishikilie. Ile siku ulikuja pale Kavoteri, mimi nilikuwa nimepepa umbao kubwa sana.
nikisema ile maneno mumefanya
ile siku ya kofi.
Ile siku. Lakini nilikuwa nimekomboa pikipiki. Na sababu nilikuwa naongea na unajua pale Embu mambo ilikuwa imechemuka. Pikipiki ilienda pamoja na boda. Na haikuwa yangu. Ikazama. Na hadi wa leo sijailipa.
Pole sana, pole.
So,
pole.
Hiyo pikipiki tu.
Mato utapata pikipiki kesho.
Asante. Noma si noma. Fire si fire. Nishikiriwe nisishikiriwe. Tutaendelea na 2 term. Unasema tuendelee na 2 term? Tushikilie rais. Tushikilie kijana wetu. Mtashikilia huyu Kindiki? Mnataka tumshikilie? Mko tayari? Kama mko tayari simameni nyinyi nyote. Simameni 2 term. WhatsApp. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much. So what you do?
Yes.
Ule mnapangana naye kwa ofisi yangu pale.
Yes.
Enda umuone.
Yes.
Because you lost a bodaboda.
Yeah.
Ngoja. We lost pikipiki na wenyewe. First, we replace that pikipiki.
Yes. Asante.
And we replace it with the best.
Thank you.
The best motorbike.
Thank you.
Alafu baada ya hiyo,
yes,
ukuje bado nikupange tena.
Asante! Moto si moto! Asante sana.
Thank you very much. Asante.
Yes.
Mwisho kabisa, kuna mmoja wetu anataka kusema jambo, sijui anataka kusema nini. Anaitwa kuna wapi Jacqueline Wanjiro. Alikuwa anataka kusema kitu. Ako na maneno huyu Jacqueline Wanjiro. Ni fire si fire. Sema kitu Jacqueline alafu tufunge. Mimi naona mmeshika hii fire hii. Mmeshika. Very good.
Our Excellency, the Deputy President and the youth of Embu. Mambo yenu iko aje?
Poa.
Tunasema aje? I wanted to speak on behalf of the professionals, the teachers, the nurses, the doctors, the accountant working under the county government, and those working under the national government, and those who have had a chance to get a job through the leadership of the Kenya Kwanza Alliance. And we appreciate that. Tutakuwa tunadanganya tukisema mtatupea kazi. Personally, I have benefited from the leadership. I come from a place called Ishara. I'm shaking. God, no, okay. I have never addressed people.
Relax.
This large, and I appreciate this chance.
Yeah.
I come from a place called Ishara. You should pass by. There's a lot of good nyamachoma.
I know Ishara.
Ukuje ukule nyamachoma hapo Ishara.
Kabisa.
We want to say thank you for this chance for hosting us. Tumekula. Warembo wamepiga selfie huko, tutakuwa tuna trend huko TikTok leo.
Very good.
And we appreciate for hosting us.
Yeah.
And we appreciate that you are going to give us jobs. Umetu promise.
Kabisa.
We are going to stick around until we get those jobs.
Kabisa.
Thank you.
God bless you. Excellent. So huyo ameongea kwa niaba ya professionals, wale young people wamepata kazi under this administration. Wow. And you know that's how we should be. Kuna ile imefanyika, kuna ile bado haijafanyika. And eventually we'll have a good country, we'll have many young people accommodated in one way or the other. So mimi nataka niwashukuru sana. Naomba sasa kwa mara ya mwisho tusimame halafu niseme kitu kingine hapo. Kwa sababu mimi naona tunaendelea vizuri. Na mimi mumeniambia nitafute mdosi nimwambie mnataka kikao na yeye. Si ni kweli? Pale State House. Si ni kweli? Na pia mumeniambia different groups I need to deal with your issues sector by sector. University students and college students, those in businesses, SMEs, micro businesses, wale ambao ni professionals, we have different needs. I need to have a sitting with you. Content creators, nimealikwa pale na Babu wa Dallas, na mimi nitafika hapo faster. nitatafuta contact ya huyo babu wa Dallas ndiye anipangie ile maneno amesema ya pale Dallas. Otherwise I wish you well, na kama nilivyosema tutakuwa na siku nyingi. Sasa nilikuwa nataka kuuliza, kwa sababu DJ anatengeneza wimbo, lakini hiyo wimbo tutaendelea nayo, alafu MC ama kuna mtu atakuja hapa atu guide na ile program imebaki, na nataka mjue ya kwamba you still have a bit of time, don't be in a hurry to leave, lakini kuna ka program nataka tumalize mapema kabla kuja kuwa usiku, kwa sababu mmefika na amwezi kuondoka hivyo tu. Ama namna gani? Si nyinyi ni marafiki zangu? Si nyinyi ni majirani wangu? Si nyinyi ni watu ya tutam? Si ni watu ya tutam? Ni tutam si tutam? Ni tutam si tutam? Uko nyuma ni tutam si tutam? Wacha nione tutam 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 tutam. Wale ngoja DJ. Wale wako mbali hawajasikia vile vijana wa Embu County wamesema. Nimeuliza ni tutam si tutam? Ni tutam si tutam? Wacha nione wale wanasema ni tutam ni tutam ni tutam ni tutam. Ya pili. Mumeniambia ni 10 bila breaks. In other words, ni mbwekse. Ni mbwekse. Ni mbwekse. Ni mbwekse. Wacha nione wale wanasema ni mbwekse, ni mbwekse, ni mbwekse, ni mbwekse, ni mbwekse. So, kwa sababu nyinyi ni watu ya mbwekse, watu ya tutam, nyinyi ni vijana wa hapa nyumbani, vijana majirani wangu wa Embu, iko makosa gani tukiendelea na hiyo program nimesema? Iko makosa? Iko makosa? So tuendelee? Tuendelee na hiyo maneno? Tuendelee tusiendelee? Nyinyi mmeshika network? Si namna hii namna hii namna hii? Si namna hii namna hii? Tupangane tusipangane? Tuendelee tusiendelee? Si namna hii namna hii namna hii? Wangapi wanasema tuendelee 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 tuendelee? So DJ weka wimbo, alafu sasa kuna mtu atakuja hapa announce order ama utaratibu ule tutatumia. Na mimi nakubali na washukuru kwa sababu nimeambiwa mmefika in a very orderly manner. I'm very impressed. Hata hiyo program ingine, let there be order, kwa sababu hakuna problem. Hakuna problem, everybody hapa hakuna problem. Usiwe na mambo mengi, kwa sababu mko nyumbani, mkuwe orderly. Mkuwe orderly, kwa sababu mambo ni tutam. Na ni mbwekse. Na ni mbwekse. Na ni fire. Fire si fire. Noma si noma. Tuendelee tusiendelee? Nipatieni mbwekse 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 mbwekse. DJ. Mjeni tupige muziki kidogo hapo.
Nipe sound DJ.
Endelea DJ, endelea DJ.
DJ nipe sound tuende. Yeti. Tuende. Yeti. Yeti.
Atigire matudika negwa proke.
Yebu.
Kirigane otere tware beo.
Yeti.
Deri watonukerera toge kurunoka. Amatire meteki ande twe beo.
Watch it flow. Watch it flow. Tuende. Nipe sound tuende. Weva. Nipe mkono.
Umesikia hiyo maneno ama bado hajafika huko kweli? Imefika?
Aya.
Imefika?
Hiyo maneno imefika huko kwani wapi?
Nikisema tamu, unasema tamu.
Unasema?
Tamu. Nikisema tamu, unasema tamu. Huko tunasema tamu.
Nionyeshe vitamu basi.
mercy, no mercy, fire. No mercy, no.
Unataka nini? Na wazee mnataka nini? Wa mama mnataka nini?
Ama namna gani?
Vijana
ya mwisho nionyeshe tuta mikono yote mbili. Mikono yote mbili nionyeshe tuta.
Mnataka nini?
Tuta.
Nyenyekevu, sisemi kwa lazima.
Tuta.
Ama namna gani?
Tuta.
Ama namna gani?
Tuta. Tuta. Tuta.
Nikisema